Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor here. I just wanted to show you some of the items that we sell, the types of things we sell, and the types of money we make. I picked some from the high end, I picked some from the low end, and I picked some in the middle here. Just a random assortment of items we sold just in the last couple of days. So let's hop over there now and show you what we sell. Okay, so here's the first item that I sold. Now, this is a booklet from Camp MacArthur from Waco, Texas. It's a hospital, I believe. It's got a lot of nice, interesting photos. I have just a couple bucks into this. It was bought in a big bulk lot. I think I paid $2 a piece for everything in that lot. Rather interesting book. Now, I sold this for 65 bucks. Wasn't up very long, so it was a good sale for me. Next item here. Now, I showed this in a haul. This is a Soapbox Derby helmet made out of steel. It's produced by Chevrolet as well. I got like 10 or 15 bucks, I think, max into this, and I sold it for 50 some odd bucks plus shipping. So very good sale. This was only up for like 8 or 10 days. It's a real nice condition too, so I couldn't knock this one at all. Now, this next one here I showed on my Instagram page, a little video of this and a few other items. If you're not on my Instagram page, I would recommend signing up for it. I'm going to be doing some giveaways through that page as well. But this is one of the Santa Clauses that I scored in a haul. I've sold 3 or 4 of these from the same purchase, and I have about 30 totals what I bought. This one paid for them all at 315 bucks. I sold for this single die cut. It's about 11 3/4 inches tall by about 7 inches across. It's from the 1870s or 80s. It has mica. It's just a really nice Christmas decoration. All of these sorts of things go for us all the time. So now this sells better during Christmas. Let me just put that in there. Next one here is a postcard. It's a anti-British, French, African POW card. Typical of what you'd find from World War I. It did go for $29.25. So just a nice example of some of these earlier war cards and what you can get out of them. Here's a record. This is one of those I paid a dime for or less. I bought a huge assortment of these. I've been selling them on average for, say, 15 to, say, 70 bucks a pop. This one went for $17.88. It's a Jimmy Skinner on a fairly scarce Deco brand label. So, really interesting one. This is from a local area. This is something that you just won't find very often. This is, I think, the only sale of this that I can find is from mine. It's not a scarce record or worth a fortune, but very happy with that kind of price on these. Easy to ship, easy to list. You know, as long as you can grade records, you're all set. Now, here's just a little family reunion label, or I should say ribbon on this one. It's from 1919 from Fremont, Ohio. I had several of these. I think I still have one left, and I sold this one for 10 bucks. This was in an envelope that I actually got in a huge lot, so technically I have nothing into this one or the other ones from this. 10 bucks is fine. Someone with the same last name is probably why this was sold. So again, these are just from the last couple days. This is a typical day of items that I would sell right here. It's just a small selection. It's just some random items that I picked. Here's a photo. Now, I've had this up for a while. I've got 400 or 500 CBS TV 8x10s in my assortment now. I've been averaging 10 to, say, 20 bucks a piece on these. I sold several this week, so they pay for themselves over and over again. I've been selling these weekly for, geez, probably a year and a half or more, constantly. And when I first listed these, I sold a whole bunch right off the bat. Several $1,000s worth, as a matter of fact. Now, here's a print ad. This is just a piece cut out of a newspaper or magazine from about 1870s. Did go for $18.38. You can see it's about 2 inches by 2 inches. Nothing really. It has printing on the back that doesn't correspond with the print itself. Print ads do sell for many different things. It has to be interesting and unique for it to sell, though. Next item is a magazine from the Training Command Amphibious Forces Pacific Fleet. This is a rather interesting one. I paid $1 for it with a bunch of magazines. I sold it for 30 bucks plus shipping. No rhyme or reason. There's some damage on it. It has some staining, so we went back and forth just a hair on the price, and I was fine. I have, again, $1 into it, so I really can't go wrong at 30 bucks. Now, this one here is a Stanhope. Now, if you don't know what a Stanhope is, I would honestly recommend you looking up Stanhope. There's little tiny holes or little tiny circles you see behind on the crucifix behind the Jesus on there. Now, if you look through those from the back side, there's an image of the 7 stations of the cross in that. Full size. It fills the entire view of your eye. It's like micro-printed images on a piece of glass or something. They're rather interesting, unique items. Now, I sold this one for $100. They go up and down on price. There's quite a few up now. I'm fine with selling it for $100. If you didn't know, religious items sell much better during Christmas and Easter. Those are the 2 holidays that I usually sell way more religious-oriented items. Perfect example here. Now here's a tobacco silk, a fairly nice one here. University of Chicago. This is a pretty nice one. I've sold about 60 of these, all in the same price range. I took $75 on this one here. Now, I paid $800 plus for an assortment of these. As of now, I believe we were at $2,600 back for that return on my investment, and I haven't even sold half of them yet. So, fairly happy. It was a large assortment. I've got some that I even haven't put up at this point. So, these sell for us all the time. You got to be patient with these. Now, in something like this, I let them set. It just takes the right type of buyer to want this item. They sell routinely. I sell several of these a month for at least $75 a pop. So, really good item here. Now, here's a Nos shirt. It's a dress shirt, probably from the 60s or 70s. It's a Kmart one, too. It's still sealed in the package. And I took roughly $50 on this one here shipped. So, nice sale. And then I've got like $3 or $4 into this one as well as many others. I don't mess with clothing other than this type of thing. If it's in a package, I don't have to do anything. Just take some photos and off it goes. I don't have to worry about size, fit, or anything because it's sealed. And the description on size is clearly visible on the tag. Now, I sell CDs on many different sites, including on Amazon. Now, sometimes CDs sell better on eBay, and sometimes they sell better on Amazon, or wherever you may want to list them at. Discogs is a place I do see people list CDs. Discogs, I only list records, though. But I put this one here because it has a better track record on eBay. Amazon, there's a lot of competition, so the prices are lower. It's a good thing to sell on several sites because you can pick which site's the best to get more money out of things instead of just being confined to one site and one set of comps for this. So this one did much better here. It did sell for $43.12. I had a bunch of these, and I did sell some on other sites too, but for the most part, I get more money for these sealed SACD player CDs than anywhere else. So really interesting one here. Next one is another baby doll. Now, I sold one last week or the week before. This is not even in that great condition, but they do sell very well. I took $35, I believe, on this one, plus shipping. It has some issues, some chips and things. The face doesn't look so great. These can be repaired with gesso and things, and then people will repaint them also. Next item is a postcard. This was up for like 2 days. I sold it for $29. I have pennies into this. I bought this in a big lot. This was determined to be junk by the people I bought this from too. And it's hand-painted Art Deco. Just a really fabulous looking image here. So almost a $30 profit or return on my investment. Now this one here, I believe I showed this in a haul like a month or so ago. I've got maybe 10 or 15 bucks or something into it. It did go for $48.75 plus shipping. I've got 5 or 6 telegraph keys or relay boxes or relay devices here at the house. Now, I always buy them when I run into them, especially if they're marked Western Union on them. And this one is clearly marked. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's definitely a Western Union original piece. So really nice sale on that one. Now these are heavy again. I weigh all this out. I know what they're going to weigh. So when I list it for the shipping part of it, I do calculated shipping for everything. It's never been wrong on me. I've never lost a dime that way. Everything is calculated shipping. Just when you do it, make sure you're counting for the boxes, packing material, and the whole works. Postcard. Now, I've had a bunch of these from the Pantyhose Junction in California. I think this is one of the last ones left. I paid pennies, like a dime for a bunch of these a piece. I bought multiples. Now, sometimes I'll list them up as a multiple unit auction or listing, say one listing with 10 of identical items. Other times I'll list them one at a time. I sold some right away, so this is pretty much free. It did sell for $22.42 on this one. Now here's another interesting piece. This is a railway and telegraph machinery company, a company that supplies and makes these. I threw some crazy price out there. At the end of the day, I ended up taking $155 for it, which I was happy. Card's not in perfect condition. It has some issues and stuff. So again, I'm not worried about that price, and I have almost nothing into this. This was bought with a big bulk lot of paper at a local auction about 2 months ago, or 3 months ago maybe. But this is just some random assortment that I purchased for almost nothing, and this is one of the pieces in there. So you can't go wrong. List price does not mean anything. It's what you get for it is what's important. So $155 paid for the entire paper lot I got, probably like 20 times over, and I've already sold many other things for it. So the purchase where I got this at, we've made hundreds of dollars in profit after everything is said and done. So really nice item. Here's another card. This one came with some postcards. It's identical in size, 3.5 by 5.5. Many times I see these flipped into there. Sometimes I'll find these with blotters as well. This is a rather large one for a trade card. But I did sell this one for $131.25. This one's for Hennessy Beer and Bass. They have a lot of interesting things, and it's got a bar scene on the inside. So it's a really interesting one here. Now, records, you know I sell those all the time. I just picked just a couple because, again, I could show you hours of records. This is Stars and Stripes Forever by John Philip Sousa. Sousa's band, that's what this is. Rather nice one here. This is on what would be called a Batwing Victor 78 10-inch disc, 2588. I've got about a quarter into this. These are the kind that most people think are junk. Things like this, the music itself, but these patriotic ones sell extremely well, especially if it's Sousa's band on this, and this is exactly what this one is. Another 8x10, I've got hundreds and hundreds of military ones that were from the company that actually made the planes. This one I sold for $25. It's been up for about 6 months. I sell a couple of these every single week. Now this is different from the CBS photos. I have photos from, you name it. I've got thousands of 8x10s. Only a small percentage of them are up right now. We're working on photographing them and scanning them right this moment. $25, I'm very happy. I've got a couple pennies into this because I bought it in a huge lump sum at an auction. Tons of profit and stuff like this. This is definitely a World War II era image. Now this is from the SS Columbus. It's a steamship that went around the world. This is a Lincoln's birthday, I guess you would say, dinner event. And it's a menu from the ship. So nice item here. You can see the price. Jewelry I sell as well. This is just some random junk jewelry. I paid $1 a piece, so I have $2 into the slot here, and I sold it for $18.38. Again, I just picked some random items. I try to mix them up a little bit, so it's a little different mix of items here. Another piece of jewelry. This is an Art Deco. It's nothing really fancy. It's well made. It's heavy. It's got an interesting, I guess you would say, almost an acorn hanging off the end. And this one did sell for $24.38. Jewelry does sell well this time of year, more so than most other times. Really nice piece here. And the last item is a Christmas album from Bing Crosby. Now, this is a 78, and I believe this is the 4-record version of this. Now, there's 2 versions of the Merry Christmas 78 set by Bing Crosby with the Andrews Sisters. One has 5 discs and one has 4 discs. This is the smaller of them. It's a real good seller. I sell it all year round. Towards Christmas time, this time of the year, you're going to be moving a bunch more of these. So these are key items that I get up well in advance, and I snag them every time I can. So really nice item here. Those in Patreon will recognize this as well, too. That's what I have for you today. Well, there you are. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.